Hello and welcome to iBluAirJgR Gaming for Comedy. This is Whiskey Foxtrot, the off-kilter, possibly insane copy of a copy rogue attacker. I think someone forgot to refill the toner when they made this guy. Either that or they used too much cyan. Anyway, what are we talking about today? A few things. First off, Call of Duty. Second, we're gonna dive into some Halo and why the Arbiter is actually the main character. But more important than those two things, we're gonna talk about Whiskey Foxtrot and the capture game mode. So, what is Whiskey Foxtrot? Battleborn has him accurately classified as a versatile assassin, but there's a little bit more to this gun-toting soldier than meets the eye. He's also a precision marksman and a brawler. Unlike a traditional assassin that focuses on getting into and out of combat as quickly as possible, dispatching their foes in one fell swoop, then disappearing into the shadows like Batman, Whiskey Foxtrot thrives in situations where he's allowed to fight, kill, and keep on fighting. And killing some more, and fighting some more, and killing, and fighting, and killing, and fighting, and killing. Now, Whiskey Foxtrot is an easy character in the sense that his abilities are simple and straightforward. His first ability is Sticky Bomb. It launches a grenade that sticks to surfaces and enemies. It detonates after 3 seconds. Next up, Scrap Cannon fires a spread of shrapnel from the rifle's underbelly, dealing damage to targets in front of it. His ultimate ability, Overdrive, loads his tactical rifle with an extended clip of 75 bullets that can be fired fully automatically. Last but not least, his passive ability, Combat Rhythm, grants Whiskey a 25% attack damage bonus after killing an enemy. Oh, and I almost forgot, his primary weapon is a tactical assault rifle that fires in 3-round bursts. Well, I didn't almost forget because that last part was scripted. I wrote it down, but this part is not scripted. Let's get into it anyway. Flak Off. That's the first ability we're picking in the Helix. What this does is it adds a pushback effect to the Scrap Cannon. Whiskey Foxtrot doesn't have any methods of escape, right? So if he's in a sticky situation with a melee character with Wrath or Galilea, whatever her name is, he doesn't have a way to get away from that outside of a quick melee. Flak Off gives you the ability to do that. It has a pretty significant pushback effect, so it's a great tool to use defensively, or if you're really just trying to finish somebody off, you can use it as an offensive ability as well, getting people off objectives. It's a very versatile ability when you take that Helix that has the pushback effect to it. So we're starting off, we're going to capture a point. This isn't team deathmatch, it's all about getting those objectives, but in the capture game mode, you do have to kill people more frequently than you do in the other game modes. And that's part of the reason I'm playing this mode with Whiskey Foxtrot, because I want to show off his killing potential. He is an assassin by description, but he's also a marksman. It's all about precision. Now we're already starting to see his abilities coming into play, launching that Sticky Bomb directly on the Montana. It's very easy to hit a fat target like Montana with the Sticky Bomb. It ticks down, 3 seconds later, boom, it's going to blow up, do some decent damage to the target. A lot of times, the Sticky Bomb, it doesn't do as much damage as you would think it's going to do. It's most of the time, it's not going to give you that kill on somebody that's like, oh, I stuck him, I can walk away. No, this isn't Halo. You can't stick somebody with a plasma grenade or with a sticky grenade and just have them instant dead. No, you've still got to make sure you follow it up with some shots from that tactical rifle. Now, something I did right there, I shot the sticky grenade at the floor. And that's something I think is a valuable thing to do with Whiskey Foxtrot. And the reason is, if you always try to stick players with the Sticky Bomb, most of the time you're going to miss. At least for me, most of the time I'm going to miss. Gonna stab Miko in the mushroom tip, though. That was very painful. Imagine getting stabbed in your mushroom tip. Ladies, imagine getting stabbed in your special place as well. It's not pretty. Okay, but seriously, if you always try to stick enemy Battleborn, it's not always going to work. And chances are, the Sticky Bomb is just going to fly somewhere and it's not going to do anything. But if you stick somewhere around where you're currently fighting, the enemy might stay in that area and step on it later. So it's sometimes it's better to stick the bomb on the environment. Sometimes it's better to stick it on enemy Battleborn themselves. And there we go, using the flat cannon offensively there. I was trying to get the kill off of Montana, but wait a minute. Scrap Bank. This is the next ability in the Helix we're taking. It adds the ability to save up 2 additional charges in the scrap cannon, making it a more frequently used ability. And the third ability from the Helix we're taking is Scoped Up. This gives you an ACOG scope. It increases your range and your accuracy. Personally, I almost exclusively go for the ACOG scope just because I feel like turning Whiskey Foxtrot into more of a marksman. Already seeing that sticky bomb, just putting it on the objective, kind of, then just going to run away. I can't handle them both. I got to get out of there. I'm going to build up this station in a second. Boom, it's ready. Now I can heal myself just a little, get that regen effect. Fun fact, I didn't know this until recently. Somebody told me the healing station gives you a regen effect for a short duration after you walk away from it. So that's a pretty cool tip right there. But I almost exclusively take the ACOG scope with Whiskey Foxtrot for the simple fact that I like feeling like more of a marksman. I was trying to go back to the base right there, but somebody was not having that, so I'm going to have to run away a little bit. But the reason why I feel like he plays a lot better as a long-range marksman for the simple fact that he doesn't have those escape options. He can't juke people like Melka. He can't go invisible. He can't activate his stealth gadget like Oscar Mike. He doesn't have ways to escape. So if you want to survive, you want to stay at range as much as possible, and the ACOG scope allows you to do that more effectively than the red dot scope. So that's why I picked that one up. And it looks like I'm just kind of getting overwhelmed a little bit in this situation. I just can't seem to get into the perfect combat rhythm. You see what I did there? His passive is called combat rhythm. Whiskey Foxtrot, he's a versatile guy. He can function well on every map type. He's a little bit stronger on maps that have minions because he can get that combat rhythm queued up on a minion kill, and then he can use that extra damage on a Battleborn. But he's still powerful in the capture game mode just because he's a good character overall. But something to really adjust to with him is the fact that he can't escape. He has no escape. Once you get in there with Whiskey Foxtrot, you're not getting out unless you kill the other person or you get killed yourself. That's just how it works. It's very strange, and that's really something to adjust to if you're coming from playing Oscar Mike when you first start the campaign. Ooh, I almost died there. 100 life to live. We're getting out of here though. We're gonna retreat. I'm sort of standing by their spawn point, so somebody could come out and get me if there was somebody dead, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, it's something to get used to. Picking another ability, Stick and Sap. If the sticky bomb hits a target, it will deal damage to shields and health over 3 seconds, and it deals bonus damage to the shields. The next ability, I chose one of his Helix augmentation abilities. Whenever he gets a kill, he regenerates health over 10 seconds. The alternative is bonus reload speed or bonus movement speed after a kill. They're all valuable options, but I personally feel like the health option is really powerful once you get it. And here we go. We're seeing some of that marksman ability coming into play. If I had better aim, I would have been able to dispatch of the enemy Whiskey Foxtrot very easily. But my aim is not that good. I mean, you know, we're seeing all the different elements coming into play. And once again, we're seeing the fact that my aim is garbage. We're going to see a lot of that right now. Just poor placement on my part is going to make it very difficult for me to kill the enemy Marquise. Look at this. This is fish in a barrel right now, and I'm just failing miserably at killing them. Do you kill fish in a barrel or do you fish in a barrel? I don't know. Either way, Oscar, no, that is Whiskey Foxtrot sticking me with the grenade, but he's backed himself into a corner. He doesn't know where to go, so I'm gonna shank him up. This is like some Mexican cartel shit right here. This is very bad. And here we go, Miko coming out. I'm missing all of my shots. There's a lot of enemies on the field, so I'm going to back off, but I'm going to activate the ultimate. Now we're going to see 75 rounds in the clip being fired fully automatically. It's very devastating. I'm going. Miko's gone. That is the ultimate. It's sort of like Toby's ultimate in the sense that it has to be charged up. And oh my gosh, I've stuck Marquise. You see that dot damage ticking off? Boom! Blew his ass up. Now we're going to pick another Helix ability. At this particular tier, it boils down to preference, really. Flakback, this pushes you back in addition to the target hit when you activate Flak Cannon. Napalm, this is the augmented ability, the mutation ability. It adds a fire pool underneath the exploded grenade. And the other option increases the speed of the grenade itself. That makes it a little bit easier to stick targets. Before we move on from this topic, we're going to go back and we're going to watch something. We're going to watch the kill on Marquise again in slow motion because it was so cool. And here we go. So we back off, activate the ultimate ability. We see it has it takes a little bit of time to get ramped up, but once it starts going, okay? And that's what's important. This thing is ready. There are 75 rounds in the clip, and I'm laying them all on Miko. Now, you know, if you've got better aim, you can take out a nice amount of people with this thing, but I'm prioritizing Miko. He, she, it is going down. Remember, it is a collection of fungi, whatever, but it's gone now. It's been destroyed. Now, there's other enemies on the field. Marquise is here, but the ultimate is deactivating, so I'm a little bit vulnerable, but now I'm going to start laying into him, putting those rounds straight in his chest. Here we go. Launch the sticky bomb. Now, the dot is ticking down. I'm willing to bet if I didn't have the dot ticking on him, boom, the explosion would not have killed him. It might not have been enough. Maybe it would have, maybe it wouldn't have, but the dot damage is very valuable against taking out a single target quickly and just ensuring that that sticky bomb does what you want it to do. All right, so we're back in the action, back right where we left off, and we're picking up a kill on the enemy Whiskey. Nothing fancy, but also Miko is chasing us out. I tried to get the stick on her once again, or I think Miko feels like it's supposed to be a girl, okay? But, you know, we're really chewing her out. We're seeing that her damage output versus the damage output of a true assassin character is just unmatched. There's just no competition. Also, we're going back to that Mexican cartel, stabbing her out just a little bit. The melee is a very important tool for Whiskey Foxtrot. So not every character needs to melee a lot, but I feel like don't be scared to melee. Like right now, we're poking Marquise off the edge. He fucked up. And you get taunted for that. I mean, that's just... that look where you going, man. That's all I got to say about that. I mean, and here we go. The enemy Whiskey is in my face as well, and he doesn't seem to realize the ledge is there. He's going off the side as well, and you get taunted for that. Watch where you're going, man. It's very important. Now, Flak Cannon has a very strong pushback. Before we talk about that, we're talking about the gear that we pick up: reload speed, health regen per second, and skill damage. I like those three options. Skill damage, it can definitely be swapped out for attack speed or attack damage or anything to increase your offense. Landed a nice stick on Miko, and we're seeing all the damage come into play. Took her out pretty quickly. I need to reload, so I'm going to go for some stabs. She's the danger of quick melee, it does knock your targets back. So it can be difficult to really chase somebody out and stab them out. But in the end, I succeeded, and that killer region is coming into play, healing me back up just a little bit. It's very nice. It's very nice. So we were saying before about the gear. It really boils down to preference, but I like health regen on Whiskey Foxtrot. I didn't purchase it just yet in this particular match. Haven't got that many shards. But health regen, skill damage, and reload speed. Reload speed is just great because his base reload is pretty slow, so it can definitely give you an early game advantage before you start getting more abilities. Before we continue, new ability. Speaking of reload speed, duct-taped magazines. This increases the reload speed of every other reload. It's very nice. It allows you to just get more shots down range. If you're in a dogfight with somebody and you need to reload, sometimes it'll fill up a little bit faster. And the next, spread shot versus long distance flak. It's sort of a preference thing. Do you want your flak? Do you want to have more flak, or do you want your flak to go farther? That's really the question you have to ask yourself with this one. But as far as the gear that I choose, reload speed is always good. Just, you know, helps you reload faster. Health regen, I like the idea of being able to stay in the fight just a little bit longer with Whiskey Foxtrot, because you're keeping your distance. If you are, you know, using your range appropriately, you're not going to take too much damage. And then when you do take damage, it's just going to come back over time. You're going to regen it up. And then the skill damage, there are other options that increase your overall DPS more, like if you just put raw attack damage instead of skill damage, you're going to do more overall damage. But the idea of, okay, when I put down a sticky bomb, I want it to kill somebody, right? I want it to... It did, right? And just you can argue whether or not it was the skill damage that made that particular sticky bomb enough to get the kill, but it's just a preference thing, really. It's just a preference. And got in a little dogfight with the enemy Whiskey Foxtrot, and he beat me in that situation, but that's okay. We're almost level 10, so we're getting through all of the abilities at this point. This is another one that boils down to preference, so we're not really going to talk about it. Do you want your sticky bombs to do more damage, or do you want to use them more frequently? I want them to do more damage. I'm just all about the more damage. That's my philosophy with Whiskey Foxtrot. It's just more damage. When you use those skills, you want them to hurt. So that's pretty much the gist of it. That's, you know, with Whiskey Foxtrot, respect your range, you know, try and be a marksman, be accurate. Keep your distance from the fight as much as you can. When you get in close, don't be afraid to use that melee, and just play within that environment. You don't always have to stick the sticky bomb on a player. Stick it on the point. Put that napalm down if you went for that perk. Activate that ultimate. Put those shots into Miko. Put all 75 of them bullets in Miko. You know, it's all about playing to your strengths, and his strength isn't mobility. It's his ability to put some serious damage on targets accurately and from a distance. Just precision. Be precise when you need to. Get those sticks when you need to. And just, you know, make people fight on your terms, right? I don't want to fight Montana in head-on confrontation. I want to get back and make him come to me. I want to be in a position where I can get sort of in cover. I want to get him on the run like he is now. You know, I want to control the flow of combat. Benedict coming, I'm not having it. It come around that corner, though, he's going to have that sticky bomb in his face. Well, he might see it and walk around it. But either way, it's all about fighting on your terms with Whiskey Foxtrot. Because if you get caught in a situation where you're too close to somebody that's a melee, or if you're just in a one-on-one confrontation with somebody like Oscar Mike, who's got a fully automatic weapon, you're going to struggle. So always try and put things on your terms. And hopefully you don't get stabbed in the back by Miko. I'm so glad I didn't get taunted there. That would have been some nice revenge. But yeah, it's all about make sure it's on your terms, you know? You're not here to take shit. You're not here to take no shit. You're here to fight on your terms and your terms alone. And that's probably the best advice that I can give about Whiskey Foxtrot. He's a very, very powerful character with so many different options, but he's easy to shut down if you really push him outside of his comfort zone, because because his weapon's not automatic, he doesn't do that same quick damage as somebody with an automatic weapon. But it's powerful when it's in the, you know, when it's on his terms. That was a nice little assassination there. He was already pretty low. And then we're seeing that duct tape magazine come into play. That reload was almost instantaneous. Now this game is coming to an end. My team is picking up the lead, getting into a little bit of a dogfight with the enemy Whiskey Foxtrot. But I don't know which augment he has on his rifle, but I was able to put more rounds on him, get his shield taken out a little bit faster, and he's struggling at this point. I feel like he's giving up hope. I feel like he's giving up hope. He's coming back. He's backed himself into a corner. I think he gave up. He could have meleeed me, but he didn't. He tried to stick me. He did stick me, but it just wasn't enough. And the sticky bomb on its own doesn't do that much damage. It's not much to stress about. And here we go, Marquise. I'm kind of goofing around with this guy at this point. I really shouldn't be, because this game is really close, and we could lose on some. I'd be very devastated if it was my fault that we lost. And I'm going straight Mexican cartel. I do not hip fire very well with burst fire weapons or pistols or things like that, and I got chewed up. But Marquise is going to try and taunt me, but just at the worst time, because we're going to pick up the win. But there we go. That's all the time we have for today. There's police outside my window, but that's fine. They're coming to get me, guys. Help. I need some help. No, they're not. But thank you for watching iBluAirJgR Gaming for Comedy. This has been Whiskey Foxtrot, and I'll see you next time.